What's going on, YouTubers, gamers and hobbyists? Welcome to this week's episode of On the Bench with Pete. This is the series that you put on in the background whilst you paint a hobby or whatever else you want to do. So it's designed to just be played along as you do your more mundane tasks, such as priming, basing, whatever it may be, whatever you find a bit more tedious, I suppose. But it doesn't have to be. You could be doing fine detail for all I know. It doesn't matter, as long as it helps you. Helps me though, and that's why I do these. It helps me get through those laborious tasks. So grab your brushes and your models and whatever else you need, perhaps a drink or two, and yeah, let's get started. What's going on, YouTubers, gamers and hobbyists? Welcome to On the Bench with Pete. And this week my tower all done, but it's literally been a whole week since I last did any hobbying. But this week I've got my scary Scarecrows. They arrived from Gripping Beast, as you can see here. Grippingbeast.com. Thank you for your order. You are welcome. I thought I'd put them on these round slotted bases. Just cover up the slots with them. So that's that. I've got to prime a couple of items for my galvanic servo haulers kit. This is like the fire extinguisher here in this tool kit. And I'm even going to prime this little tractor thing here by hand. The other stuff is a bit bigger, so I will prime that by airbrush. But I figure this will be quite good to do by hand. What else? I think that's about it. Oh, I've got my jugular guy. I've got my Death Watch guy on the bike to carry on with there. So that's all going to be good. So he's good to go, as it were. Do some highlighting on his reds, perhaps. Maybe do the gun casings on his bike here. I think that might be a favourite. There's a couple of bits and bobs to do roundabout, so yeah, so we'll do that. Yeah, I've got to touch up a few places as well where I've sort of overgone from before, and that's fine. But I think I'm going to start off by working on my... Well, actually, let's get one of my palettes out. And, I'm looking for black. A bit of priming. We'll prime some things first. Right, so just shaking that up. Right, now let's me use a slightly bigger brush, this Daler and Rowney one. I'll grab my blue tissue. Now there's all sorts of manner of things to talk about, but I need to get going first. As the intro should have explained, this is the series you put on in the background as you hobby or paint, so hopefully you're all set to go. It seems to be taking me ages to get going today, to get prepared, as it were. Alright, that's better. Right, let's check in the microphone. Yep, that all seems to be good. Alright, let's get going then. So, just a bit of water. And get some primer on the fire extinguisher. So, what have I got to talk about? Well, had a busy week. It's been eventful. Working my ass off. As you may know from my last P&Q. I said I was saving up for a Mac for my wife for her writing. Well, I've got that. I'm just going to kind of, so I'll arrange the finance for that. So I'm going to be working to pay that off, basically. So that's But that's all done. That's all in hand now. That's good. So that's one little achievement. Got the Mac, which is what I wanted to get. Now I just got to work to get that paid off. Then I think I'm gonna look at some home improvements like windows and things. I think would be favourite. That would be kind of the sensible thing to do, which is what I'm going to do. And everything is going to be cool. Right. So I'll just get this priming done. Then that can be drying whilst we do the other stuff, see? I don't know if I'll be able to prime all of this in one go. I can do the underside here, but not the underside of the tracks. So I'm just going to paint this here like so. Get the back side of the side of the wheels and the tracks done. Perhaps I should have worn a glove for this. In fact, I think I might just do that. Save me a lot of scrubbing in the long run. So that's what I'm going to do. I've been doing some different stuff in work, which is quite cool. I've been wanting to learn more about the store anyways, and see where different things go, and I'm certainly getting that opportunity, so that's good. Rather than be stuck in the same position, else it will come to a point where they say, oh yeah, after 5 years, say for example, all right, yeah, can you start working on, I don't know, say Frozen now, for example, which is what I was on last night. But if you have never done it before, I was like, well, I'm not going to be very good at that because I've never done it before. So, well, you've been here 5 years. That's why I need to do it now, as soon as possible. Otherwise, it'll look a bit odd if you've been there a long time and you still don't know how to do something. So, good to get training, well, not training as such, but experience rather, on other things. So that's good. I imagine I'll get trained up on tying up at the baling machine, because it's all very well just shoving the cardboard in and pressing the button, but you need to be able to tie it up at the end, I think, when it's full. That would be incredibly handy. I'll just check in my paint. So I think, that might be a thing. I really do. I did build these during the week though at home, just on my lap. I got my that Citadel cutting mat table thing, the older one, the kind of mobile one. You rest it across your knees. It's quite good. It's brilliant for building on. Just a ticket. I quite like the look of these industrial machinery type things. It's all good. It's all going to look good. Be good in Necromunda too, I feel, which is what I think I bought it with in mind, to be honest. But yeah. So we did a plinth change in work last night, which involves a lot of taking down stock and refilling it with something else, because I don't know, time of year and all that. I guess students coming back and Halloween coming up and you know, it will be coming up. Then of course it'll be fireworks and then Christmas. Although that said, we're getting Christmas stuff in now, so I'll just leave that there for a moment. It's kind of all used up anyway. So priming on those now done. Now these scarecrows, I need to get some of the flashing off. I thought these would make a great Halloween project. The least I can do is get them prepped and stuck to their assigned bases before we get to Halloween, you know? At least that's my way of thinking. I might need that one a little later. So I'm looking for files right now. What do you know? It's two, which I'm just not looking for. Well, that's one I am looking for. It's going to give a bit of a rub down. And I'll need wire brush them as well. Well, this is good. Yeah, so I've not been able to get much hobby stuff done. Certainly no painting since my last on the bench. Right. Ooh. So much harder doing flash on metal. Got a cup of tea with me. My wife's home. She came home from work poorly. She's not very well, not feeling too good, a bit under the weather. Well, a lot under the weather actually. And my wife has always been used to not getting any sick pay in a job where she's worked, so she's always soldiered on, and that's what she was doing here today. But where she works now, they're quite happy to pay her sick pay if she's not very well. And they outright told her, look, if you're not well, go home, you'll get paid, it's fine. And she's quite, you know, I suppose taken aback a bit by that, so she's come home. You know, with their blessing. So that's a weight off her mind, and she's in bed now, she's resting. I told her to do. Otherwise she'd have sat, talked with me, forced herself to stay awake, when really she needs to just rest and recuperate. I love the look of this guy. It's so intimidating. Just when he stood there, it's kind of cool. He's just there. It's awesome. I'm going to try get the flashing off the inside leg here a minute. Yeah, so I've got my friend coming over tonight, which is super awesome. I haven't seen him for a while. We always have great conversations, and you know, it's been a while, and I'm looking forward to it, because, as I say, we have good conversations. And I haven't seen him since I started my new job. I'll tell him a bit about it. And yeah, we swap life histories up until, you know, the point, well, from the point we last saw each other. That's good. Sort of catching up on each other's lives. We live totally different lifestyles, of course, but I think that's probably why we are still friends after all this time. We've known each other since school, since starting secondary school, actually. Right. I think he will be good to go. See, what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue them on bases like so. Only question is, do I have enough glue left in my old glue pot? I think I might set my camera up. Oops. Just going to change the focusing of my camera so that it doesn't go out of focus. Now, I'm going to have super glue. Here we go. That's cool. Just gonna pop him down here. Put him to one side, then he can be drying as well, whilst my other guys are being worked on. Some of these need quite a bit of work. I'm just gonna have a sip of tea, so bear with me. Sorry about that. So, let me know as always what you guys are working on. You know I like to hear about that. I'm just cleaning off the brush a minute so that the handle's out of the way. Right, so back to it. Right, the next guy I'm working on is this one. He's kind of like mid-stride. I don't know how we're gonna get around this one. There's a bit of flash under in his armpit there to get rid of, which wasn't too bad. Yeah, I got these from Gripping Beast, as you saw at the start there, but I did a little show and tell on them. Gripping Beast have some really great miniatures. Now, you know, I've got my interesting miniatures series, and I think these are prime candidates because whatever else they are interesting. They're very interesting. And a little scary too, which is that, you know, they're meant to be. So we're just prepping here. So it's going to be a future Halloween project, you know. That's what these are going to be. Yeah, so jumping back to my friend coming over tonight. We usually talk about obviously we talk about what's, you know, the latest and greatest in our lives at the moment, and what's going on, what's been going on, plans, etc. We chat about the old days, reminisce, school days, of course. We usually have a great laugh. We do. Now I'm just going to brush this guy up. You know, once they're primed, I'll leave them for a while until closer to Halloween. They won't be hard to paint, but I'm waiting for. I want some grey primer, not my ghost grey primer I have got here. Something slightly darker. I want more mid-tones. I want them to be, I don't know, not have a bright finish, but not too dark either. I want them to kind of stand out quite a bit on any tabletop. So whatever they might be used for. They could be used for Call of Cthulhu or Dungeons and Dragons, or even werewolf or vampire. You know, it's these are some of the things they could be used for in role playing. I've got loads of interesting miniatures I can do, and I've got loads to do that I've yet to get around to, like Reaper miniatures and such like. So I'm just getting rid of a bit more flash. We've still got lots of bits of straw hanging out everywhere, which is cool. I just think they're really awesome looking miniatures. I mean, I remember when all miniatures were metal like this. I know some really good ones in the old days. I'd love to get my hands on again. See if I could do them justice this time with a paint job that it's better than what I could ever do when I was at school. So now I've got the, I won't say talent. I don't know if I am that talented, but I've certainly got more experience now, and certainly more finances to get like paints I want. The resources are better, so you know, I have a greater paint selection to begin with. Right, so I think he will be ready to go too. Wow, do you know we're 21 minutes in? That's crazy. That's craziness. Absolute craziness. Not a lot of glue left in this tube. Bottle? It's a bottle of glue. Or in my ventriloquist voice, a bottle of glue. Him to one side. We're getting there, guys. Another sip of tea, I think we got. See, in the old days, I would buy figures when I was at school, and I would just keep them on the bases they came on. I didn't think to put them on other bases, or even that you could get such things, or that such things were a thing. You know, I just had no experience at all. But now things are different. So I wonder what conversation we'll have tonight. We'll come out here into the studio and we talk quite late. It won't be as late as normal tonight because it's you know, what we affectionately refer to as a school night, but it is my weekend, which I appreciate isn't the same as everybody else's now, because working hours and so on. Right, what I like about these particular models is, although there's flash on them, it is so easy to tell what is flash and what isn't. Some models it's difficult to do that, and it's not always as obvious, you know. I don't know what flash is like on other models, such as like Perry miniatures, metals. Perhaps you could tell me, you know, for like your historical stuff and that. I don't know. Guess I'll find out in the fullness of time, eh? Because you know, I shall head down that route eventually. I'm thinking of Romans at the moment. Romans and Gauls. Yes, I've watched the Spartacus series, and yes, my image of Romans is probably tainted by that, of what they would look like and how they would fight and stuff. But you know, as long as you have fun, right? Sorry, nearly there. God, you know, we're nearly halfway through already, and I've hardly done anything, it seems. How crazy is that? That is just nuts, man. Absolutely nuts. Alright. Okay, so here we go again with the super glue bottle of doom. When it came out first go. So he's drying now. So we've got one chap left. I will get some painting done, I hope. Builder's tea. Grand. No, this guy, I think I'll leave the stump that he's walking on for his, I don't know if you can see that there. His foot there, he's got a little metal support for it, because when I put him on the base and I'll build it up with texture, could possibly put some grass on it as well, some grass strands or something like that. Yeah, so this is my weekend, as I said, and this is my therapy, as it is for many of us. I've been thinking about getting into board gaming as a hobby as well, and primarily my reason for that is they're self-contained, although they're not as comprehensive as, like, say, a war game. But some board games are they've got some quite good miniatures in. Something which I do find appealing, I'll be honest. But some of them have some odd rules and things, so don't know what I mean. I mean, like, the miniatures in the Conan game look amazing, but I'm not sure if I'd like the game itself. Miniatures do look cool though. Or Doom. Miniatures look cool in that as well. You know, games of that ilk. So I'm just brushing this off here now. When I ordered these, I thought there were only 3. I had ordered it was a pack of 3, but it's actually a pack of 4, which I was pleasantly surprised with. Obviously, when they arrived, I was like, yay! One more than I thought. Something eerie about Scarecrows, though, isn't there? Do you remember Jeepers Creepers 2 with the Scarecrow at the start? Oh, wow. Scarecrows in a cornfield. Very eerie. To me, Scarecrow can be as sinister as like a clown. And that's pretty sinister as well. The last Halloween, I did Dracula. I don't know if you remember that. But yeah, I did a Dracula, and that's kind of like from like a Halloween painting competition. Not competition, just a painting challenge. More, yeah, Halloween painting challenge. Yes, I may have to run an official painting challenge this year, I don't know. So I'm having, this is like I say, this is my weekend, so this is my day of rest, like what Saturday would be to most other people, I suppose. And tomorrow's going to be my Sunday, where I chill out and start again the next week. You know, that's how it works. Let's see if we can. Get him on this base. Like I say, I'll build the rest of it up with texture. Put him to one side. So this is the first one that we did here. He all seems properly dry on that now, so that's kind of cool. What I may do is I may fill the bottom of the slot first. Maybe with some green stuff or something, I don't know, and then put the texture on. I don't know, we'll see. And here was the second one, I think. And the third. And of course, the 4th. So these guys are going to be my Halloween painting challenge. So it's going to happen, guys. There's going to be a mini Warzone Halloween painting challenge next month. I know next month we've got October, which everybody goes nuts about, and of course I will be participating in that as well. But for me, these guys are going to be the scary stuff I do, because Halloween, of course, is at the end of October. So yeah, of course I will need to be doing stuff on them during October as well as the orc stuff, which is going to be a challenge for me because I want to get the orc bomber on a stand. So yeah, that is going to be a challenge, but it's one I'm up for. It's fine. I can prime these before I put green stuff on the bases. I mean, I can get that done ready at least, but like I say, I'm thinking of waiting until my grey primer arrives. I mean, I've got some Panzer grey, which is a dark grey. And I've got white. I suppose I could mix. Yeah, thinking about it. I was going to say I could mix white and grey or white and black, but I don't know. How's this one coming along? Be able to do the underneath soon. Right, so what I'm going to do is pop these to one side momentarily. Bring my Deathwatch guy in. Yes, now I think I'll take my glove off now. It's not like I'm priming anymore. So burnt red is the colour, and that's going to be the colour of the gun casings on his like his twin link bolters there on his bike. And yeah, I've got to do some highlighting on the metals there as well, and like I say, some cleanup work too. I know that. That's fine. Pop these. Oops, pop these files back. So as my Hive Tyrant just fell over in the background there. I've got my Gene Stealer cart, as I said, but I'm waiting for the grey for that. And I was going to wait for the grey for the Scarecrows, but I might just do them Panzer Grey instead, as a primer. So yeah. Alright, it's just mixing up this burnt red here. Now looking for detail brush. Yeah, this is what I'm doing. Detail brush. Okay, right. 37 minutes. We're gonna get some paint down here. Bolter casing. I think this burnt red for me is a great colour for a bolter casing. I like it. Do, do, do. Okay. Not bad, not bad. Little tricky, these parts here, so sorry for not speaking on these parts, but just finding it a bit on the tricky side. Well, not, it's not tricky, that's not what I meant. I meant it's just a little fiddly right now. Okay. Right, there we go. That's not bad. That's not bad at all. Not bad at all. It's looking quite good. Yeah, quite good. I like that. Okay. Right, okay. Wash out. 41 minutes, dearie me. It's going by too fast. Way too fast. I think the scary scarecrows are pretty much all dry. So we'll come back to priming them soon. Just going to do a touch of Abaddon Black, or Abaddon Black, or however you want to pronounce it, doesn't matter. You say, I don't know, do you say Abaddon or Abaddon? Doesn't matter, anyway. So I'm just washing out the brush again. Well, this brush, sorry. I've got some cash for clothes I need to get going with that. I really would like to get that done possibly this weekend, if I can. And I just realised I need to change the bin. Change the bin out. Because it's getting rather full in there. Okay, I'll just dampen myself the brush. We're just going to do some touch up here. dampness of the brush. Oh, that's looking better. Better already. Let's do this. Was this called a pauldron? I'm not sure. Bit around his shoulder pad here. Actually, I think a pauldron is like with hair or something like that. I think that's quite good. That's not too bad. None too shabby. None too shabby at all. It's pretty darn good, in fact. Yeah, we like that. Alright. Put some dots on the guns. Yeah, that's better. Looking good, chap. Looking very good. There we go. Last. Touch up in there. I can always come back to that. Anyways, right. So I'm really making this up as I go along. This nothing's been planned here at all. You know, sometimes it's better to plan, sometimes it isn't. It just depends how you're feeling. You could have a really good, I don't know, cognitive moment and just crack open the camera and blast an episode out, and you know, jobs are good, and that has happened to me before. It has happened. I'm just looking at the box art. Oh my word. It would seem it's got a very watered down. Well, I'm going to water it right down. Mephiston red. That's going to go in the cracks in his armour. Then once again, obviously we'll have to tidy it up. Which will do. Which will do. Doesn't have it on the other side. Right. Now the can I see any purity seals on him? No, I can't. But he has got them. I think maybe we'll do some highlighting. Stormhost silver. And that will mark the end of the pot of water. Airbrush thinner. Thinners is thinners, whether it's airbrush or not, it's going to thin your paint down, so... Right, so here we are with our detail brush. Okay. So we're just highlighting certain areas of the metal. Now I need to touch up the flames because I've gone over. Grr. Okay. This is not tricky, but just a bit awkward. There's more areas to touch up yet, but that's okay. So it's not the tops of the barrels of the guns. Yeah. Alright. Edge of his sword. Right. Checking. Yeah. Wow. That's alright. I've seen this figure used in battle reports. He looks super cool. There. And that's that. Right, so all that remains for me to do on this episode, I think, is to prime the scary Scarecrows. And that's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to use... I think I'm going to use Panzer Grey for this. So here they are. These models here. Ooh, dear me. A question for you all as well, if you've a mind to listen. And that is, how long do you spend at home hobbying? How long do you allow yourself? How long are you allowed? How long, can you get before real life has to take over? I'll be interested to know. Right, so I'll do this intimidating guy first. Would like them all primed. Then they're raring to go for the Halloween painting challenge. Yes, I'm going to announce it, I think. Halloween painting challenge. Nothing, no fancy thing, just could be anything though, as long as it's something scary, And people can follow along as and when and if they want to. Post updates, make videos, that would be cool. Yeah, so there we are. So that's 2 scary scarecrows done. Yes, I think I'm going to make a video about that, and then you can do you know, what you wish. Yeah, I think that'd be really cool. You know, dioramas, busts, anything. Yeah. Many years ago when I was a kid, I saw I think it was a Dracula like diorama kit you could get, and I was really intrigued. I really wanted it. Not that I had any skill in building models, or certainly not painting. Right. There. And there they are. Excellent. Actually, I don't know if we can grab some of that paint and pop it back in. There's not a lot there, really. It's quite a good primer though, Panzer Grey, I find. It's see, black is great, but it can sometimes take away, well, not take away, it creates too much shadow on dark, and then it can be difficult to see detail sometimes. But some of the lighter ones are good. Now, I'm certainly going to wait for the grey primer to arrive before I do my Genestealer cult. But here they are. Here are the scary scarecrows. And these are the guys I'm going to be entering into my Halloween painting challenge. So that's it, guys. So I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm just washing out my brushes here now, and then we're going to end it. So if you're painting along, that's fine. You got a couple of moments left yet. If you're driving, just bear in mind that the video is going to be ending soon. And certainly if you're driving, you won't be watching the screen anyway, so that's fine. So my time says we're over an hour now, so right. So glasses are going off, and I'm going to zoom out. Yeah, there we are. So rather than a cut to this, I'm just zooming out to this. So thanks very much for joining me on this episode of On the Bench. I've really enjoyed getting those scary scarecrows done, doing a little bit of work on the Deathwatch guy on the motorbike, and starting to prime up some of more of my terrain. So yeah, all in all, that's not bad. I'm quite happy with that. So thanks so much for joining me. Let me know, as always, in the comments what you're working on. Remember, all brushes lead to war. And bye for now, folks. Bye bye.